Sometimes I think I might be going crazy from sexual frustration.
You just hate every single guy on the face of the earth.
That's not true. I just hate all these extroverted, pseudo-bohemian losers.
You guys up for some reggae tonight?
Ghost World. The underground comic book comes to life.
We have to get together this summer.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Y2K Movie Podcast, a hip and happening new podcast covering cult films from, I can't even do it, from about the mid-1990s to the early 2000s. Today, we're celebrating a great little offbeat and eccentric coming-of-age movie that just turned 25 last week, and that is Ghost World. You can stream this movie for free, I just noticed, on YouTube or the Roku channel. It's also available to rent on Amazon, Apple TV, etc. And this month, it's on the Criterion channel. So there are many options to watch this. My guest today is an online friend I've known for several years now. He is a horror film lover in particular, and he posts some really great reviews on his Instagram, screen name Slasher Junkie. So please welcome Carlos. Woo! Great to have you.
Oh, I'm happy to be here on your second episode of your movie with positive moral values.
Yeah, everyone that I pick is a film with positive moral values. Thanks to Superstar from now on. That's the running gag.
Oh, I was going to say that I'm flattered that you thought about me when you picked this movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, I knew you were a fan of this movie, and I knew you were a DARIA fan, which I have my hat here that everybody can see. Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of connective tissue between those two things. I feel like Enid is maybe a little meaner than DARIA. I don't think DARIA would ever do this to someone, but otherwise, the vibe is definitely similar in the personality, the kind of like disaffected, sardonic, sarcastic, ironic stuff, you know.
That's really the reason that got my attention for this movie back in 2001, because it reminded me of DARIA.
Yeah, because they would have been on about the same time. Yeah, I think DARIA started in '97 and ended in like 2002 or something.
If I'm not mistaken,
yeah. So it was pretty around the same time. Did you see this in theaters?
No, I did not. At the time, I was living in Puerto Rico, so if it did open, it was probably like an artsy theater in the city, but I'm pretty sure that it didn't. It wasn't until it actually came out on DVD that I was there at the video store on day one when that came out.
Perfect. Yeah, I was reading it had kind of a weird release schedule where they released it in like 5 theaters. We're at the 25th anniversary. I think last week was the 25th anniversary, so we're kind of right around then. But yeah, I think they released it in like 5 theaters, like New York and Los Angeles, etc. And then throughout the year, it kind of expanded. So I don't think a lot of people saw it in theaters at the time, just because I don't think a lot of people knew it was in theaters. And I think by the time you get to like September, obviously when September 11th happened, that just kind of made everything very odd with the movie releases.
I forgot that Ghost World came out in the summer of 2001, because I'm thinking now that was a busy summer with a lot of big titles. I mean, Legally Blonde is the first one that comes to mind.
Yes.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. I was going to talk about that. Yeah, when we got to the like what movies were in theaters at the time.
Wasn't that the summer?
Yeah, there was
Shrek as well.
Yeah, I think so. Oh gosh, yeah, take me back to that. 2001 was just a fun year. You know, there was so much, so many great comedies, and it was just a really sort of diverse mix of movies that you just don't see as much in theaters this year. Although there've been a couple attempts at comedies this year at least, which is nice. Hopefully that continues, because I definitely miss seeing them in theaters.
Like in theaters this summer. Oh, I can't even.
Yeah.
The last one that I saw that it was kind of comedy was the Invite, the one that Olivia Wilde directed.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was funny. I
Okay,
enjoy that
good,
one.
good, good. I think that's what I miss, just like comedies that actually make you laugh, you know? Like
Hmm.
I watch so many comedy, quote unquote comedies these days, and I'm like, is this really a comedy? Because I chuckled a couple times, but otherwise, you know,
Scary Movie was a disappointment. Although
it was
yesterday I was watching the deleted scenes, and some of the stuff that they deleted, I was actually laughing. Well, I was watching on my
okay.
phone and laughing.
I know they released like an extended version of the movie that I kind of
Hmm.
want to check out and see, and
Yeah,
the ending's different on it. I want to see if that's any funnier.
yeah, they were making fun of other movies, and I was wondering why didn't this make it to the final cut? Because I was actually laughing. And
Okay.
going back to June when I went to see at the movie theater, I didn't laugh that much.
No, yeah, me neither. It it tried, which I appreciate, but and kind of the same with Devil Wears Prada too. I was like, this is okay, but I'm not laughing, and there's no like, you know, there's no quotable one-liners that I'm leaving. I think I mentioned in the past episode that it was just like, it's like these comedies, they're forgetting that they actually have to be funny, which is such a weird, you know, time to be living in. I definitely miss, especially watching a movie like this, which it's an interesting sort of mix of different genres here, but it is very funny. Like there are a lot of one-liners that I wrote down because I was just like, this is so like you look like a gay tennis player from the 40s. Like just just these really funny bitchy one-liners.
Yes, I remember when this movie came out. It was during the what is it, the MSN Messenger days,
Oh yeah, yeah,
AOL,
yeah.
and I remember that
Uh-huh.
I had a notebook with a bunch of quotes from this movie, and that was always on my profile name. I always had a
Yeah.
quote from Ghostface, especially the
Oh, perfect.
I can't relate to 99% of humanity,
Oh yeah,
like my
that's a
favorite one.
that's a classic. Classic. So you rented this when it came out.
Yes.
So it was a fairly formative movie for you, would you say?
Yes, it was because I mean, when
Cool.
the reason that it got me into it because it was because of Daria, and I saw a lot of myself in Enid, and I
Sure,
could
sure.
and I could relate the relationship, the codependency that I had at the time with my best friend Janet.
Oh, sure, sure.
we
Yeah.
we were both always hanging out. Oh my God, whenever one of us had to, did not go to school that day, oh, I would just leave. I would just cut classes and go home because I just didn't want to be at the
Hmm.
school because she was just my best friend, and we were just always, hanging out and making fun of people,
Sure, sure.
not to the faces, but from afar,
Well, yeah,
judging
of course,
people
you know,
watching.
yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely captures that uh, just the vibe of like these two they just graduate high school in the movie and they don't really know what they're doing with their lives and they kind of want different things, which is always kind of funny throughout the movie because Rebecca, like, she keeps trying to get Enid to basically grow up and, like, you know, try to enter the real world. And Enid does like everything that she can to, you know, prevent that from happening, like dyeing her hair green and, you know, becoming obsessed with this like middle-aged man. And it's just, it's really funny. But, but yeah,
I,
the friendship is definitely relatable.
Yes, it was totally relatable, and even though I was still young and about thinking about college and all that stuff, but when that time
Mhm.
came around, it definitely hit me. It's like, oh yes, I this movie really nailed that angle of how the whole coming of age story of discovering
Yeah.
what to do with your life after high school, which is always such a difficult time. I just remember, just like Rebecca, just graduating and getting a job right away because I just wanted to earn my own money.
Yeah, where yeah, the difference between them is because Ina is just like, oh, I'm just gonna like stay at home with my dad and like, you know, keep living my life like nothing is happening. But Rebecca's like, no, I want to, you know, start my life and do something. I
I
do
want
like the sort of juxtaposition.
I wanted to be an Enid, but no, I was more of a Rebecca actually.
Well, sure, yeah. I mean,
I like
at
to
that,
have my shit together.
yeah, at that age, I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it's like most people, but a lot of people, yeah. It's just this feeling of wanting to start a new chapter and do something different, um, particularly after high school, which is, you know, kind of hell in itself. So, uh,
But I remember just quoting the movie all the time, even when I was in school,
Mhm.
and just it was just constantly. I mean, this movie just turned 25 years, correct?
Yeah, which
So
is
that
insane.
so that means I've watched this movie at least 25 times,
Wow.
I've definitely watched it more than that.
Wow. So you watch it pretty much every year.
Yeah, it's become a summer staple. I usually watch it like right away in May when school starts to end, and
Yeah, it's a good time.
immediately it just takes me back to middle school.
Hmm. It's definitely one of those like time capsule movies
Hmm.
for sure. The first time I saw it, it was also a video store rental for me. I didn't love it at the time, but I think it's because I was expecting more of a late 90s typical teen comedy like 10 Things I Hate About You or She's All That or like
Yeah,
Can't Hardly Wait. But then I watched it again in college and I was like, oh, I understand this more. Like I get what was going on here. I think it was just a matter of like expectations the first time around I watched it. Um, and then when the Criterion release came out in like 2017, I think I watched it again and I was like, this is brilliant. I don't know. I was just an idiot, I guess, to have not realized this at the time.
I
But
was just
it is, yeah,
I love the dry sense of humor that it has.
yeah, yeah. The sort of deadpan.
Hmm.
Again, it's very Daria adjacent, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, I know Daria was first introduced in Beavis and Butthead in the early 90s, but she didn't do much in that show. She was more, I think, kind of glorified cameo.
Hmm.
But this would have come out a couple years. The comic books came out, I think, in the early 90s, the Ghost World comics, and then Daria was like 97. So it does kind of make me wonder, like, if there was some sort of influence from the comics to Daria,
Yeah.
because there's definitely a lot of connective, yeah, tissue between those two things.
Have you ever
Um,
read the comic book?
I haven't. I've wanted to, and I think it's pretty short, so I don't really have an excuse, but I just haven't. How about you?
No, but I do have the Criterion release, and I did notice
Nice.
that
Yeah.
it has like a little comic book,
I
and
saw that too when I was pulling it up earlier. Yeah.
yeah, and it does have one particular scene, like when they're going to visit Seymour at their garage sale. It's right there,
Oh, cool.
and
Cool. Yeah.
I don't know much about this graphic artist, but I guess this comic book series, April, was very popular back in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. I think they all kind of have that kind of quirky, again, disaffected vibe, which, I was thinking about as similar as this is to Daria, there were also just like a lot of characters like this in the 90s too. I was thinking, like Darlene Connor is kind of similar.
Mm.
Even like Wednesday Addams from the 90s versions of Addams Family, and like Lindsay from Freaks and Geeks, or like Kat from 10 Things I Hate About You. Again, just these very like sardonic, discontent, misanthropic young women. It seems like they were popping up all over the place. All the Janine Garofalo characters she played, they were
Oh
always
yes,
like this kind of thing. So, um,
all the characters that turn out to be my favorite in whatever
yeah,
project.
yeah, they're always the best. The ones that you kind of relate to the most, or at least we do. You know,
Hmm.
I was always, I don't know, like I was more of like a band and choir kid in high school, but I feel like in my mind, like I always wanted to like dress like Enid. I was one of those people, even though I didn't. And I think later in life, I'm like, man, why was I so like repressed in high school? Like, why didn't I wear my Raptor shirt every day and just, dye my hair green and,
I love that shirt. I've looked to see if I can find a replica, but no,
oh,
nowhere in sight.
it's perfect.
Yeah, she has
Have
a
you
lot of memorable looks throughout the movie.
yeah, the fashion is so great in this movie and all the costumes. It's kind of a weird mix of like kind of grungy stuff with like vintage 60 preppy stuff and like
Hmm.
thrift store finds. It's just I think just the look and the fashion I think are a big part of this movie. They're really kind of a character in themselves, which always makes it fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I love that. I think the production design is just incredible, and there's a lot of things that every time that
Yeah.
I'm watching it, I'm looking in the background and I see that I know that sock is not on the floor there for no reason. It's there. Like
Uh-huh.
there's one point where they're walking down the street and there's always a pair of jeans on the ground
Oh,
by the
now I'm gonna be looking for that because I wasn't even paying attention. That's
yes,
funny.
by the bus stop where the old man is always sitting waiting
Oh yeah, yeah.
for the bus.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's always a pair of jeans on the ground.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the costume designer was Mary Zofris I was looking at, and she had done a lot of the like Coen Brothers movies and I think some Spielberg stuff. But yeah, she did such a fantastic job with this movie. Uh,
Did you ever watch his previous film prior to this one? I can't remember.
Crumb.
Yeah.
Yes, I did a couple years ago. Definitely more of a documentary.
Okay.
It's considered like one of the best documentaries of the 90s and stuff. And I liked it, but
Hmm.
I definitely resonate with this more than that. I did watch the follow-up movie he did to this Art School Confidential pretty recently.
Okay.
Have you seen that one?
No, but it's always been on my radar.
It for me too. Like I hadn't watched it until I knew we were doing this movie. It's a weird movie. It's
Hmm.
kind of like all the art class scenes in this stretched out into like an entire movie. But then there's also this like slasher kind of plot going on in the background
Okay.
that makes
Interested.
no. So you might, yeah, I was gonna say you might enjoy it for that. But it's just kind of a weird mix of things, and everything kind of comes together in the end. But it's very sort of satirical look at art school, and um, it has some kind of interesting ideas of like how you have to sort of sell out to or try not to sell out to get ahead, and it's funny. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as brilliant as Ghost World, but it was a kind of fun watch in that regard.
Okay. I'm interested because I was hoping it would be something in relation to the remedial art class that she's
Yes,
taking.
yes. Oh, that character is so
Oh,
freaking funny.
I love Ileana Douglas as
Oh yeah.
Roberta.
Yeah, she just kind of popped up all over the place in the 90s. You never knew where she was going to show up, but when she did, it was like, yes, like this is who I want to see in
She,
this movie.
she was like the Judy Greer of the 90s.
Yes, yes. I loved her in To Die For, so
Oh,
funny
that's
in that.
every time I think about her, it's just always To Die For and Stir of
Yes.
Echoes.
Yes. Oh, Story of Echoes. Yes, because she's like,
Hmm.
she's so funny in that movie. Yeah, because she's like the sister-in-law character, right? And she's
Yeah.
kind of psychic, or at least she thinks she is.
Hmm.
And she does successfully like make him like open up and see things. But it's
Yeah.
it's
That's
funny.
another one that I need to rewatch. It's been a while. I don't remember much about it, but I just know
I
that's
rewatched it last year, and yeah, it was good. I liked it.
okay.
Yeah. So
It was always my favorite between that one and The Sixth Sense. I always gravitated
I think
towards
I
Stir of
like it better than
Echoes.
The Sixth Sense too. Yeah, it's definitely a fun one.
I have never rewatched The Sixth Sense, so that speaks for itself.
It's yeah. It's
Even though it's a good movie, but I love Stir of Echoes.
sure. And like, once you know the big twist in The Sixth Sense, it always kind of hurts the rewatch value. But
Hmm.
it's all right. I've rewatched it a couple times, but it's not one that I rewatch like every year or anything for sure. I was gonna ask you like because you are always on top of like everything that's in theaters, but especially horror movies.
I'll
Like what?
try.
Well, more than anyone else I know, yeah, you are seeing everything. I always just sort of wait, as you know, either until the end of the year or like during summer, I try to hit some. But then I get to the end of the year and I'm just like so overwhelmed because I'm trying to catch up with all these movies, and then they all kind of blur together in my head. So I should really be better about keeping up with them throughout the year. But I was going to ask you, like, what have been like the best ones you've seen this year so far, and what have been the worst ones?
The first one that comes to mind, I know at this point is like, oh, we have to talk about it, but Obsession.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Obsession has been
Mm-hmm.
one of my top
Mm-hmm.
favorites. I also liked a lot Whistle.
Oh yeah, I started that and then for some reason I got distracted, but I did like the kind of Final Destination
Yes,
vibe that it
it,
had.
it has some great kills. Um, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank now because it's just I've seen so much. I mean, this week
Sure,
alone, yesterday I
sure.
went to see Pinocchio's Pinocchio Unstrung, which was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I loved it.
Okay. That's good
And
to
then
know. That's good.
and then I went to see Her Private Hell, and that was a challenge. I mean, it
Okay.
was a little bit disappointing because it was my most anticipated movie of the summer, and
Okay.
I
Okay.
was just sitting there and just wondering, what the hell is this movie even about? It's almost 2 hours
Uh-huh.
long, and I was in my own private hell trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
I came home, and I hate to do that when I watch a movie, and then I come home and I go down a rabbit hole on YouTube just to see if I'm just it's just me being dumb that I didn't understand it. But no, there's other people that did not get the movie.
Yeah, that's usually the case. It's Were you a fan of the Neon Demon?
Yes,
Okay.
which
Okay.
I know a lot of people did not like, but that was probably like my favorite movie from the past 10 years. And I know,
Wow.
I, and I and I
Okay.
and I know that movie has its problems, but I just loved it.
I like just don't remember anything about it, so I need to revisit it because I think it's 10 this year. I think 'cause I think it
Yeah,
was 2016. Yeah.
I know. It just turned 10 this summer.
Which
Is
is
that?
insane that all these movies from like 2016 are now 10 years
Uh
old. Like that's
huh. I was like, that was
it's
2 years.
crazy.
I'm like, that was 2 years ago.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And then we had that whole little like pandemic thing in the middle, but again, it just fucked up everything with my time and where I am in space and time, and it's
Yeah, but this year there hasn't been really anything that I've been crazy about, which is sad because
Mhm.
there has been a lot of releases actually for horror. Like even looking back in 2001, like I was saying that summer was so busy, there weren't any horror
Mhm.
films that I remember of. I mean, not mainstream at least.
Yeah. The big horror films from 2001 would have been like
They came out I mean, well later in the summer in August with Jeepers
oh yeah,
Creepers and
Jeepers Creepers. I guess
the
Joyride
O-
is more of a thriller, but yeah,
the others.
the others, yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
personal
13
favorite,
Ghosts,
my
yeah,
personal favorite, Soul Survivors.
yeah. Soul Survivors. Oh my gosh, yeah. Kind of a forgotten one for a lot of people, but I would say it was part of that 90s teen horror era.
It
The
definitely was,
all I
especially for the summer of 2001. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. All I remember about that one is it has like that twist ending, right? I
it's
can't
basic.
remember what happens at the
It's basically like a modern remake of Carnival of Souls.
right.
I mean,
Yes, yes.
that's what it is.
Uh-huh. With Eliza Dushku and yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, she's not the main person though. Right? She's more of a supporting
Yeah, she's like the best friend
character in
of the main
right.
character.
But
But
they put her on the poster in the
of
front because she
course,
was like the most popular at the time.
hmm from from
That's funny.
from her role in Buffy.
From Buffy, yeah, and Bring It On, I guess. So people would have maybe known her from that.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but yeah,
Oh,
that
I'm trying to think like the other good horror movies this year that I really loved, and
mhm.
I'm here looking because there has been a lot of stuff. I mean, Hokum was good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the ones that I that I'm waiting for right now are the Ice Cream Man,
Oh yes.
Teenage Death
Uh-huh.
and Sex at Camp Miasma.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That's like the one that the most excited to see this year.
It's
I did like Scream 7 as well, which came out this year. I know a lot of
oh
people did
yeah.
not
I mean
like it. I
that's a
enjoyed it.
polarizing one. I liked it too. Yeah, we I think we talked about it and it was I think people were really harsh on it for other reasons that have nothing to do with the film itself. So I
Hmm.
it was yeah, it was fun. I mean, it just felt like another Scream sequel, you know. It wasn't trying to do anything crazy different and you know, the killer reveals were whatever, but I've kind of just gotten used to that at this point. Like they weren't great in the previous one either, so the previous like two, so
True,
yeah.
true. It's
But
funny because I was watching the special features for Ghost World, and
mhm.
And I'm surprised that Criterion actually had the opportunity to interview Scarlett Johansson.
I watched that too. Yeah, that was interesting.
And she mentioned that at the time, it was just, slasher movies, but she wanted to do something different.
Hmm.
And my mind immediately went to, oh, when she was in one of the Scream movies, or I Know We Did Last Summer, even though she was too young, though.
Yeah, I forgot how young she was. I read
Yeah.
when she first got the script for this, she was like 14, and then when they filmed,
Hmm.
she was 15. which is just insane. Because I think Thora Birch was more like 18,
Yeah,
so there was definitely a little bit of an age gap between them when they were filming this, which is interesting.
there's just like she has like a mature quality to her. So
Yes,
I was
yes.
surprised to learn that she was only 14.
Yeah, and well, she did Lost in Translation like a year or two after this, and that movie, she should not have been in that movie thinking about it because there's kind of this weird romantic relationship with an older man in that movie as well,
Hmm.
just like there is in this one. And it's just so interesting to like look back at that time and like, why were there so many movies that had these really young girls like in these relationships? And they were not relationships per se; they were more like friendships. But there's definitely some like factors that's like, oh, you couldn't get away with that today. And I watched another one we talked about briefly on Instagram. It was called My First Mister recently with Lily Sobieski.
Yes, now that you brought that one up, I immediately put it on my queue because I've always wanted to watch it.
And it was decent. The first half was very Ghost World adjacent. It was like this
Hmm.
young woman, and she kind of becomes infatuated with this older guy. But then there's a twist like halfway through that kind of changes the rest of the movie, and I wasn't invested as much after that, but I did like it. But yeah, it's interesting that there were so many movies that were kind of doing that around this time period. At least I'm glad that in this one that she is of age, like she's 18 at least, you
True.
know. But it's still weird.
Because
But
allegedly, even Christina Ricci did not want to do the role of Enid
that's what they said in the interview. Yeah, that's funny.
because she just had done Buffalo 66,
66.
which is
Yeah.
it's a weird movie in itself.
It's a very weird movie. Yeah, that movie, it's kind of a Stockholm syndrome thing where he like basically kidnaps her and like forces her to like go to his parents. And it's just again, they got by with some interesting stuff in the 90s there.
They really did.
Very briefly, like heading back to 2001 here, like we were talking about. Like we said, this movie opened on July 20th, 2001, but only in
Oh,
five theaters at the time. It did make its budget back, though. It grossed $8 million against a $7 million budget, which, again, for a little movie that is just sort of slowly opening up all over the place, at least it made back its budget, so that's good.
That's good.
The top 5 movies of the year, we already talked about one of them. What do you think number 1 was?
During that summer,
Yes, sorry, during that period of time,
I would say
during this weekend.
I think it was probably Jurassic Park 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Which I haven't seen in forever,
Oh,
but I'm curious. I kind of want to go back and rewatch all of them now.
I remember that one. I think that's probably my favorite after part 1.
Cool.
I like I like T. Leone in it. I haven't watched it since 2001, but I remember
Yes.
having that one on. I rented it on DVD probably multiple times or watch it on pay-per-view.
Number 2, you might get this one. It's a rom-com. It was sort of a Hollywood-focused thing. It had Julia Roberts and John Cusack in it.
America's Sweetheart.
Yes, America's Sweethearts.
Okay.
Mhm.
I never
Which
saw
I
it.
saw it once a couple years ago, and it was fine. It was just one of those movies you watch once and then it's gone. But it was, I guess, big enough that weekend to be number 2.
Okay.
Number 3, we talked about. This was a big camp comedy set at Harvard.
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Yeah. And then number 4, I don't remember this movie, but the score, it was a heist film with Robert De Niro and Edward Norton and Angela Bassett, I guess.
I have the poster in my mind, yes, but no, I know
Yeah.
that's not my type of movie, so yeah, I didn't watch it.
Me neither. Yeah. It was one of those movies you'd always see like previews for in theaters, but I didn't. I never
Yeah.
saw it. And then number 5 was Cats and Dogs. Do you remember that movie? It was like a family movie.
That was so disappointing. I remember I bought that. I bought that for some reason, VHS or DVD, and I watched it once and never again.
Yeah, me too. I think I saw it in theaters. I think my mom or something wanted to go see it, and I was like, okay. Even as a kid, I was like, this is not my kind of movie.
That was during that time period. It's when I started buying movies. So I would go every weekend to like Sam Goody or Kmart, and I was just
Kmart. Oh my gosh.
sometimes I'll just buy anything that just came out, and then I was like, why am I wasting my allowance on this crap like Cats and Dogs?
I mean, I mean, I'm still like that. I'm like, why did I need this like 4K release of this shitty movie that I'm never gonna watch again?
Oh,
I do relate to Seymour a lot in this movie in that regard, that he's sort of this collector and like, but he's kind of a reluctant collector because he's like, I hate this. Why am I spending so much of my life on this stuff? And sometimes I feel that way just because I'm like, God, why did I spend all this money on this like release that I'm never gonna watch again. It's just gonna sit in a box on my shelf.
true.
But
I think I completely agree because as I was watching it today, just before the podcast, I was thinking about that how I can relate so much to him. Just as a physical media collector myself, and I'm just buying things that I still have movies that I haven't watched that I bought like 20 years ago that are still on my shelf that I haven't watched.
yeah, me too. It's
And I continue to purchase stuff, and it's just never ends. It brings me joy.
I have ones that okay, I would buy them on DVD and then I wouldn't watch it, and then I'd upgrade to Blu-ray, wouldn't watch the Blu-ray, and then I'd buy it on 4K, and I'm like, if the 4K is just sitting there, and then I still have the DVD and Blu-ray sitting around, and I'm like, well, it's such an interesting like psychological thing as a physical media collector. Like
That happened to me this month when during the Criterion sale. I was like, oh, I don't have the Virgin Suicide on 4K, and there's my regular Blu-ray still sealed from a couple of years ago.
Package, yeah.
I did message my best friend. I asked him, "Do you have the Virgin Suicide?" Like he said, "Yes." I'm like, okay, never mind. Because I was like, I'll go just to give myself an excuse to buy the 4K.
Sure. There's a couple good quotes in there about that where he's talking about, oh gosh, I can't even remember.
The one that comes to mind is when Enid is helping him to hook up, and I think he tells her like, I don't want to meet anyone with with my own taste, something along those lines.
Yes. I hate my interests. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Just a self-loathing.
It is. I wouldn't say like I'm that far down the road where like I hate this, but it is to some degree. He's definitely more relatable to me now than he was the first time I saw this movie, because again I was expecting more of a like silly teen comedy the first time, and now I watch it and I'm like, oh okay, now I relate to both of them. I relate to Enid and Seymour and Rebecca to some degree because just her wanting to sort of start anew and do something different. All the characters are kind of relatable in their own
I do
way.
feel there's like a drastic change of tone towards the third act though, because the movie really starts as a buddy type of film, and then as the story goes on and she becomes more interested, and that build up her relationship with Seymour. I don't know, it goes more into a more dramatic, and what always makes me a little bit if I have to nitpick anything about this movie is that I would have loved to see more of Rebecca's home relationship, like with her parents, any siblings, and no, she just ends up being like a third character.
Yeah, that's true. It would have been nice to know more about her and kind of like Jane and Daria. Like it would be nice to because she got more development. Of course, that was a TV series, so they had more time to do a lot more with it. But still, it would have been nice to know more about Rebecca's life. It is a pretty Enid, and I would say even Seymour secondary focused movie, that more so than it is about Rebecca in the end. But yeah, you're right. They do have a lot of great little sort of buddy moments in the first half of the movie in particular. And then the kind of Seymour relationship kind of takes over a lot of everything. That and everything that's going on with her art class.
I wish I could see a whole movie that's just focused on those scenes. Because I just
that's what the Art School Confidential, the movie that watched, is kind of that way. Like it gets a little bit too much because it's just like art students sitting around like critiquing each other for like most of the movie. But it is funny because those scenes are so so hilarious. And I love that I was thinking about this time that I never really thought about the fact that she apparently passed all of her other classes except for art. Like that's the class that she has to retake, which is not usually a difficult class.
No, and you would think that she draws. That's like That's like one of her
Yes.
hobbies, drawing. That
Yeah.
would be her class that she would get an
Right.
A. Which I was questioning this time around that other girl, Margaret, that I hate.
Yeah.
I hate her, the little t-shirts
Yes.
pets. Why was
Yes.
she there too? She seems like an A type of student.
True. It's kind of a fascinating mix of students in that class.
Oh, I love to see the background background students as well. There's the one
Yeah.
there's the one kid that's always drawing violent animation.
Oh, yeah.
Philip.
And she's like, "Oh, I thought that was your father." Like, so funny.
Oh yeah, he does the one drawing about, I think it's the mutilator.
Yes, which was apparently a video game, but that's okay.
I thought that was
That's
your
fine.
father.
Yeah, so good. I definitely, I went to like a liberal arts college, and I definitely had teachers like that they were former artists that like didn't make it, so
Mhm.
but they try to live vicariously through their students, and she's definitely that sort of character, and how every piece of art that is created has to have some like deeper meaning to make it worthwhile. I like how she's like, yeah, we could do something serious, or we could make these little like cartoons like Enid has made.
Oh, but let's talk about her
Oh,
her intro
just
video.
interesting.
Mirror, father, mirror.
Mirror, father, mirror. Yes. Oh, and she just thinks it's the most like brilliant thing. And the girl in the class is the one that you were talking about, that she
Oh yeah,
makes these like ridiculous, like the hangers, the artwork,
the
and
hangers,
yes,
the tampon in the teacup.
yes,
And I just like watching Edith from the side, just rolling her eyes and just giving her these looks to her.
yes. It's so relatable. Because there were definitely people like that when I was in art class, and
Mhm.
in school, and and again, the teacher just thinks it's brilliant because it has something to say, even though like, and then when
The women's right to choose is what
yes,
the hangers represented.
yes. And then, of course, when Enid is finally like, okay, well, I'll just make up some ridiculous backstory about this piece of this poster.
Oh, the coon chicken, cooked chicken.
Yes, which is And then, of course, she just thinks it's the most brilliant thing in the world after Enid has this totally bullshit story about it. It's so funny.
Uh, I kind of wish we would have spent a little bit more time in the opening at school, just to meet all those other awkward teenagers that we got to briefly meet at the
True.
graduation.
Yeah.
And I just love them. I mean, one of my favorite quotes is, "This is so bad, it's gone past good, and make it to bad again."
Yes, exactly. And when she's trying to describe Seymour to Rebecca, and kind of like him, he's the exact opposite of everything I really hate. And
Yes.
and Rebecca's just kind of like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why you're so fascinated with this guy.
I don't like her attitude towards him though, because at one point she says he should totally kill himself. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Rebecca, that's a little cruel.
They're typical like teenagers who don't really think about the repercussions of like what they're saying, and yeah, that is, especially I think in the first half of the movie. I think they kind of mellow out a little bit later on, although she's still kind of a bitch at the end. Even like some of the stuff that she says to Seymour, Rebecca says to her like at the very end of the movie is still kind of like mean, because I think she's just angry at Enid more than
Yeah.
anything else.
Also, when they go to the quality cafe and they're
Mhm.
making fun of the Satanist couple. Well, they think they're Satanists as well.
Yes.
But we
Yes.
haven't talked about Brad Renfrew.
Oh yeah, his character is
Oh.
interesting, and how they're kind of just like torturing him the whole movie, and he's just kind of a reluctant. It's like he doesn't even want to be in the movie in a sense, that like he's kind of just like, okay, I'll be dragged into this like little adventure that Enid and Rebecca are doing again.
He's so cute though. I was like,
Yes,
I
he
enjoy every time that he's on screen, and
Yes.
I love Dave Sheridan in the movie as well.
Oh, such a weird character. That's a very like, because it's based on like the comic books, and you definitely get the sense of like that's a character that existed in that form that they were like, well, we got to make him in this movie, but he doesn't really like serve a purpose, but he's so funny and ridiculous.
Even after the credits, I forgot that there's a scene, there's a fight scene between him and Seymour.
Oh yeah, yeah. I always forget about that end credit scene too.
Yeah,
That's funny.
but all those interactions at the mini marts are so funny. Just
Yes.
the girls showing up just to make Josh's life a living hell.
And when they show up at his apartment and they leave that note that is so funny. I just posted on Instagram because it always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, we came by to fuck you, but you were not home. Therefore, you are gay. And they just leave this note signed with fake names too.
Tiffany and Amber.
Tiffany, yes. So good. It is, yeah, super funny. The whole cast it's just a really well cast movie. A very white cast, like a lot of movies from that time period. But I think
I was thinking about that, how white it was. I mean, there's side characters in the background, colored people, but yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't look this up, but I was wondering because I never realized this. Enid's dad and his girlfriend, weren't they also Phoebe Buffay's parents in Friends?
Oh, I think that now that you say that, yes, yeah, he definitely was that. Yeah, that's really funny.
I was thinking about that. I don't think I ever thought about that on previous times that I was watching it, but I was like, oh, they especially the dad, because I know the Maxine, she died recently, the actress.
Right, Terry Garr, yeah, who was kind of most known for like Tootsie and Young Frankenstein and stuff. But yeah, I forgot that she was Phoebe's mom on Friends. And then Bob Balaban, who was mostly known for like the Christopher Guest movies. He was in like Waiting for Guffman and Best in Show and A Mighty Wind. He kind of pops up in these little kind of quirky characters in that. So yeah, that's really funny. I never thought about that, made that connection.
I don't know. When she died, people were mentioning all these other movies, and I'm like, that's Maxine.
That's where you know her from. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think I was reading she was uncredited in this movie, which makes sense because she only has like 1 or 2 scenes. But it's funny to see her kind of pop up. A lot of little actors pop up in this that I kind of forgot about. Pat Finley.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I kind of forgot he was in this. David Cross from like Arrested Development and all that stuff.
I forgot that he was one of the friends at that party.
Party. Yes. Yeah, and I love that scene because they're all sort of self-loathing and yet they have to have some sort of human interaction. So they decide they're going to get together and have this little party where it's relatable too because they're all just critiquing like the quality of audio and which I've definitely been to events like that, particularly as a musician. Like I'll go to something and people will just be like bitching about the tiniest little things of like like, oh, he was a little sharp in that scene, or he was kind of flat, and it was relatable. And they're so like egotistical and narcissistic, and
I think she said, what was that all about? What was that conversation all about? Cracks and
cracks and holes. What was that? What was all that about? Enlarged holes and tight cracks. So funny.
And David Cross, he tries to hit on Scarlett Johansson. It's like, oh,
Yes.
you're wearing a green dress. Are you Irish?
Yeah. The one name is say like Melora. So funny. Yeah, because I think by that point, Rebecca is just like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, why did you drag me to this party? And Enid is just so far down the rabbit hole at this point.
Yeah, because that simple joke that they did of answering that the personal ad.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. Do you remember me? Airport shuttle, June 7th. You, striking blood, with yellow dress, pearl necklace, brown shoes. I was the bookish fellow in the green cardigan who helped you find your contact lens. Am I crazy, or did we have a moment?
So good.
And she's like, oh, this is so pathetic.
And they, again, and they're teenagers, so they don't even think about it. They're just like, we're just gonna like fuck with this guy. It's like making a prank call. They don't really think about the repercussions of what could happen with fucking with this guy's life, essentially.
I know that took me back as well. That where I would just on a random phone number in
Yeah.
the note in the
Hmm.
phone book, and I would just call them.
Yeah, you don't think about it as a teenager. You're just like, whatever. I'm just playing a prank, just having fun. And I think that's kind of where they are at the beginning of the movie too. And I just love it. Like Enid like fucks up everybody's life in this movie, and then just like leaves town. It's so great. It reminds me. I was thinking about the movie Young Adult with Charlize Theron, where like
Yes,
she kind of does the same thing where she just kind of comes to town, fucks up everybody's life, and then just leaves town. Doesn't really learn anything from it necessarily, but other than the fact that she's like, all right, I'll just keep being me, you know? It kind of has that
yes,
vibe.
especially her young adult. Yeah, she just fucked up everyone's life and just laughed.
Yeah. I love that. I think because this is a coming of age movie, but it's also kind of an anti coming of age movie in the sense that like I don't know that Enid really learns a whole lot by the end of this movie. You know?
I wonder what she's doing now. I mean,
Yes,
where
I
did
was
she
thinking that.
actually end up?
I was gonna ask you like where do you think these characters are now? And I don't know. What maybe she's like an assistant in an art gallery or something. I don't think she has made it as an artist, but
I figure that she's probably still single, has a bunch of cats. Maybe I mean, she might just still do freelance work.
yeah, could be yeah.
And I doubt that they both are friends still. Maybe
I don't
Facebook friends.
yeah, they comment on each other's posts or something from time to time. I think I think Rebecca probably has her shit together at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's probably kind of depressed. She's probably married with kids and, sort of hating her life because it's one of those things where you always want the idea of like having this kind of stable life is always great until you get it. And then it's like, oh, this is kind of boring. It's like, oh, I have these little brats running around and this boring husband who, haven't had a relationship with in years, really.
Even in real life, I think that Scarlett Johansson has a better career
Yeah. Yeah.
than Thora Birch,
Then Thora Birch. Yeah.
who was big at the time when this came out.
Yeah. She had just done American Beauty and Dungeons
Mhm.
and Dragons, but yeah, the whole cast is, and the whole, which we both like.
I was gonna say like the
Yeah,
whole
perfect. Yes, underrated. Nobody talks about that movie.
Keira Knightley gets more than a few pulses racing.
Jeez, that's what it says on the case. That's so funny.
I do wonder how this movie would have been like with Christina Ricci because I definitely see her in the Enid role for
I
sure.
could see her in that role. She did a movie that I just saw for the first time recently, Pumpkin. Do you remember that
Yes.
movie? Yes.
Hmm.
And it's not a similar role per se, but like the vibe is kind of similar in the sense that it's like darkly comic, but also like melodramatic and kind of weird. But yeah, I could definitely see her in this Enid role as well.
Did you like that one?
I did, but it was very odd. It was like a John Waters movie mixed with like melodrama. But I liked it. Yeah.
I haven't watched it since it came out in the early 2000s, so I
Yeah.
it's one that I definitely need to revisit.
The tone was just very odd. Like you couldn't really figure out what it was trying to be, but I liked it. I just watching a lot of these movies again from like the early 2000s and late 90s. I'm like I talked about this, Chris, in the previous episode. It's like even the movies that I didn't love at the time, I'll watch and I'm like, oh, this is really fun because we don't get movies like this anymore, you know? So it's like
Hmm.
even the ones that like I didn't love at the time, I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying more now for the
We
nostalgia,
were
I think, more
also
than anything
we
else.
were also kids too, so
Yes, there's that. That's that too. That too. I did think about that after I talked with Chris last time. We were talking about these movies, and I'm like, well, I probably just didn't love it because I was like 10 years old at the time or something. But yeah, the whole cast is great. The actress, her name is Stacey Travis.
I just always remember her as Dana, her that scene that just makes me cringe when she's dancing to "Follow, Follow the Sun."
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Trying to get poor Seymour to start dancing.
Just to get out of his shell a little bit. Yeah.
And do you enjoy that ongoing joke about the flower that drank the moon?
Yes. Yes. I that's another thing I always forget about until I watch this. I'm like, oh yeah, that's funny because it was in the video store, and then she mentions it
Uh-huh.
later, and it's just a fun because they're kind of making fun of these ridiculous Oscar bait movies that are
Yes.
always really they're popular for a second, and then everybody forgets about them. Oh, it's so funny. The video store scene in this, I just love in general. And I love that
Ah,
like
yes.
all the pink cases that
Mm-hmm.
just the set design. It's just, it looks really cool.
And I try to look in the background, and all the movies are, they're fake. There's nothing
That's funny.
that's actually legit. Masterpiece Video is what it's called. The video store when that one guy is asking for 8.5. 8.5, the classic Italian film by Fellini, and then he's trying to make him rent the 9.5 weeks with Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. So good. It reminds me of the scene from Sugar and Spice where I think she is renting 8.5, and like all these other like movies that have like sexual kind of names. But yeah, I miss all these video store scenes from movies. So fun.
I did think about I didn't realize it, but there's a tune that it's also in Sugar and Spice. It's like an elevator type of music in the mini mart. It's the same music that's playing when the girls go in to rob the bank.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny. It's like,
oh yeah,
and they bring out their custom made guns out. But
that's so funny.
It goes where it's when Josh is doing like the Sunday for the little girl, and he just drops it when he sees that Eden's hanging out with Seymour.
Oh yeah.
And the little girl starts crying.
Yeah.
His boss is like, Josh, what the fuck are you doing?
Yes. So again, Josh gets put through so much shit in this movie, but he's kind of just one of those people. Like I know in real life they just kind of roll over and take it. Like that you can just like
push over.
Shit. Yes, a pushover. You can keep just doing shit to them over and over and over again. They're just like, all right, whatever.
I would have loved to see them hooking up with him though.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been funny. That would have been funny. Yeah. The movie theater scenes I think are always hilarious too.
I wanted to ask you today. The manager, he's from the boy band that you recently posted about.
I just watched recently. He was part of this fictional boy band called Together, and it's a fun little made-for-TV movie. And there was also a TV show spinoff with it. But yeah, it was interesting to see him pop up in this because I forgot that he was in this, and he's funny. He always plays
the manager.
Yes, he always plays this kind of dumb jockey character. It was the same in Never Been Kissed. I forgot he was in that too. He plays this kind of dumb jock character in that. And just their whole interaction that they have together at the movie theater is so good. And how she's like, after about 5 minutes of this movie, you're going to wish you had 10 beers. And she's like encouraging the moviegoers to like see something else. And it's so great.
I love it because even when I'm watching her interaction with people, that's me in real life with customers as well.
That's funny.
And I like how she's judging the one lady that wants all that nasty butter, that yellow chemical. Because that shit that they have in the movie theater, it's not actually. I remember reading that it's not actually butter. It's some kind of mixture of oil and something else, and I don't spray it to my movie theater popcorn anymore after that.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Nasty.
Yeah, she's one of those people that she just doesn't have a filter. She says whatever comes to her mind, and her face, like she has that resting bitch face that she like can't turn off. So it's so great. It's my shtick. He tells her, "Well, drop it." Drop it. Yeah.
What kind of loser gets fired after their first day? I think it's what.
Yeah.
Scarlett tells her.
It's so good. I love the garage sale scene too, where
the one that she does.
Yes. And that character who I know from True Blood.
Yes. Okay. Yes, she is from True Blood.
Yes, Lauren Bowles. I had to look up her name. She was another little character. Again, people just pop up in this movie. Then I'm like, I forgot this person was in here. But
the $500 dress.
Yes. Like, why do you want this anyway? Like, it's gonna look stupid on you. And just like, God, fuck you.
Fuck you.
It's a great delivery.
And I like the little weird doll that she has, Goofy Gus.
Yes.
That she also did not want to sell for $5. So basically, I don't know if she even sold anything that day.
No, I don't think so. And that's kind of like the running gag in the movie that again, like she is stuck in this state of arrested development where like she's just graduated high school and she doesn't want to enter adulthood, so she's doing all this crap. It gives the illusion that she's about to enter adulthood, like she's like looking at apartments and like having garage sales and blah 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 blah, but then she keeps sabotaging every single thing, so it's like clear that she's not ready to take that next step, which is it's relatable, it's funny, but it
I
is
know,
really,
yeah.
um
I wish I could go back to 2001 and
yes,
not worry about
yes.
anything.
And that's kind of the reason she becomes obsessed with Seymour, because she's just like looking for something to again avoid thinking about adulthood and all this other stuff.
I mean,
Like
he
they're
does have his things together,
yes,
but I mean, later we do learn he kind of has like this codependency relationship with his
oh
mom
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I think she's fascinated by the fact that he's like he's a big nerd like she is, and
Hmm.
you know has these kind of cool underground tastes, and I think that attracts her at first, and she's like, oh, this is a really interesting guy, and I think she thinks he's more interesting than he actually is at first, you know. It's that, which I mean we've all kind of been there, you know, when you become sort of fascinated with somebody at first, it's like you don't see the flaws,
Hmm.
you don't see you just see the fact that like, oh wow, that's really cool, we have the same interests, and you know he likes all these really cool underground offbeat things, and he's exposing me to all this interesting stuff. But the more she gets to know him, the more she's like, oh, he's got shit that he's dealing with too. Like after they sleep together, we're kind of jumping around in the movie, but like after they sleep together
Hmm.
later in the movie, just the look on her face of like, oh, what the fuck did I just do? That was
I know.
this was not what I thought it was going to be. Interesting.
Yeah, that scene right there is when you realize, even herself, like, okay, this friendship is done.
Yes, yes. And
Even though
he,
I do enjoy their friendship a lot because
I do too.
I do find him interesting.
I do, yeah, I do as well. And he seems like a decent guy overall. You know,
Hmm.
he's got shit that he's trying to figure out, like
Yeah.
everybody. But yeah, that after they sleep together, and then he thinks that after that, like their relationship is going to go to the next level. You know, that this was sort of the next thing, which is kind of sad. You know, and if for her it was kind of like the last nail in the coffin, and she only really wanted to sleep with him because she felt like he was kind of pulling away from her, right? And you know,
Yes.
I think
Hmm.
they talk about that in the documentary on the DVD, that like she kind of felt betrayed, that he was kind of abandoning this cool guy to her, you know, this underground jazz, the life that he lives to have this sort of normal life, you know, instead
Oh,
the
oh
suburban.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't like the influence that Dana was having on him. Yeah, on
yeah,
him either.
yeah, yeah.
Also, I mean,
Oh,
he's in his 40s and she's 18 years old.
yeah. I think for most of the movie, it's a pretty like platonic friendship for the most part. Like she's just trying to sort of
Hmm.
help him. But then, yeah, there is that shift toward the end where it does take the sort of sexual turn, which again, I don't think they would do today if they remade a movie like this.
They
And
can
then
do a
yes,
requel if they want to.
yeah. Oh my God, a requel for this movie. It's so funny. I am curious to know what these characters are doing, because they are really for being so like sarcastic and sort of satirical type characters, they are engaging to watch, like, you know, even the little
Mhm.
small characters, like you said, the background characters, it's like you want to know like who is this person, like what's going on, like why is he drawing these mutilator pictures, like what's going on in his home life that's making him do this. Oh
I like the one character that works at the 50s diner, Weird Al.
yes, yes, yes.
He's also one of the quirky characters throughout the movie as well.
Yes, and the he gives her like the videotape at the diner, and he's kind of
Oh,
anti-Semitic. Like he,
Pat Healy.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand that friendship. Yeah, they didn't go into depth with that one because we only see him twice.
yes, yeah. He kind of just pops up. He's like weirdly anti-Semitic. Like he keeps talking about the fact that she's Jewish, and it just like again,
Yeah.
all these characters have these little traits that you're like, but they're memorable, and I think that's I think different from a lot of modern movies that I watch, and then I don't remember a single character in the movie, you know?
Oh, you're so punk.
Yeah, oh, you're so punk. And then she's trying to like rationalize and be like, no, I'm like original punk. Like, no, I'm not trying to be like, you know, the cool punk that's out there now.
Or you're supposed to be Cindy Lauper. Cindy Lauper. Oh, I like that one scene when they're on their way to the. I can't remember the guy that he's trying to go see a show of that he's opening. He's
opening act.
He's opening for Blues Hammer.
Blues Hammer. Which when they come on stage and they start singing, it's like they're like a mixture of like grunge with like blues, and you can tell he is just so like turned off by the whole thing. And he has that interaction with the girl at the bar who's like, oh yeah, you should really check out Blues Hammer if you like authentic blues. And he's just like trying to hold his tongue the whole time of like, you know, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
Try not to be a music snob, but
yes, which he is like that. And that's one of his sort of traits. And I love that when she's trying to make a dating sort of profile for him, she's like, "So what are your interests?" And he's like, "Well, I like ragtime and blues and like nothing that's not music related, basically."
Yeah, so she said something like, "Well, we'll cover all of that in just music or something."
Just music, yeah.
Do you like girls with big tits?
Yes. Do you like girls with big tits?
Oh, the one line I think is it says, like, trust me, by the end of the summer, you're gonna be up to your neck in pussy.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh God.
I love when they go to the sex shop as well.
Yes. Yes.
Anthony's XXX adult book and novelties.
Yes. So funny. It does have that kind of comic book feel that it's like just a series of like little vignettes. Like there's this scene over here, and then there's this scene over here, and there's another kind of scene over here. And it all kind of comes together in the end, but it does kind of jump around. Like there's the coffee shop scene too, which I always think is funny with the guy in the wheelchair who like, this would have been pre smartphones. So like most people wouldn't have had a laptop with him, but this guy always comes in every day with his laptop and looks up the answers to these questions just to get the free coffee, which cracks me up.
It was, well, I was laughing is that I think he's using Excel or Microsoft Word to type in the question.
Just like
Kelly Rowland, with the Nelly song,
the Nelly song, that's what it was. That's what it was, yeah. Yeah, that was funny. And that's where you see like how much, like Rebecca, like she does want to start a new life, but she hates her job, you know, because she's just there but she's also just kind of tuned out the whole time, which is also very relatable. Because Enid's like how can you do this every single day? And she's like, well, you know, some people are okay, but mostly I just feel like poisoning everybody.
That's like one of my favorite quotes from this movie.
So funny.
It's relatable. There's another one that I like that says, I think only stupid people have good relationships.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I'm going, there's another one, sometimes I think I'm going crazy from sexual frustration.
Sexual frustration, yeah.
Then you haven't heard of the miracle of masturbation.
All these like pseudo bohemian losers, like the dialogue is just so good. And the original comic book creator wrote the screenplay. It was Daniel Clowes. And I would be interested to go read the comics, the graphic novels, just to see like how much of it is taken directly from those and put into the movie. He says when he was writing the screenplay, I started by trying to transcribe the comic into a final draft. Then I tried throwing everything away and writing an entirely new story. And then he just ended up synthesizing the two things into like a final thing. And he said, we ended up jettisoning the last 20 pages and rethought the whole thing as we were filming, which kind of feels that way, honestly, watching it, because like you said, the last part of the movie has a very different vibe from the first half. So I can kind of see like where in the production process that kind of took a shift there.
Because even as much as I love the movie, towards the third act, I'm always like, okay, I'm ready for this movie to be done.
Yeah, it just kind of tempers off.
It gets depressing, I think.
It does. And I'm glad they give her like a couple scenes at the very end where she does sort of come come to terms with Seymour and Rebecca,
Mhm.
because I think it would have been almost too dark just to have her like leave without ever having sort of addressed the shit that she caused to these people. You know, it is cute
Yes.
when it's cute when she's in the hospital with him and she's like, you know, dude, like, yeah, I fucked with your life, but like I am actually obsessed with you. Like, look at all these
Mhm.
cartoons that I did. Like, I do actually find you really interesting, even though I did this really bad thing to you. And same with Rebecca. She's kind of like, you know, I just, I need to figure my shit out, basically. And Rebecca is, I think, fairly understanding of that. I think the
Mhm.
problem is like she's just not communicating with Rebecca throughout the movie. So when she finally does, Rebecca, I think, mostly understands. But I think throughout the movie, Rebecca's just kind of upset that she just thinks that Enid wants something that, you know, Enid doesn't really want.
Yeah. And I still wonder. Okay, she also failed the summer class as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So does she just not get her degree then?
Uh-huh.
That's so funny. Yeah, the whole sort of subplot of her, like, you think she might end up going to art school, which for like really stupid reasons too, because again, she finds that this really racist old, you know, poster that Seymour has,
Mhm.
and just presents it as sort of a found art thing. And again, the teacher goes along with it because she's like, oh, it's so brilliant because, you know, it has something to say. But then
Yeah.
but then, you know, when she does show it in the art gallery, like they're all like, how could you do this? This is so racist and everything. And I like
I was
where the teacher Roberta, she's trying to like justify it, and she's like about censorship and stuff, and the other woman's like, oh, censorship, that is such a big word for you, Rebecca. Roberta.
that, in that scene, I was actually paying attention this time closely, making sure to see the background actors that were complaining, and yes, and there were black people there.
Okay,
because
there we go.
I don't know, because I was like, is it white people that are complaining about this? Like, oh no, I see black people there. Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so there's something, yeah.
But I do like that interaction between that one lady that works at the gallery. She
Yes,
tells her that.
yes.
Yeah, she reminds me of someone that was also in Donnie Darko, and I have to IMDb that as
Oh,
well.
yeah, I could see that.
I love Donnie Darko. That's another movie that as soon as I watch it, I just transport back to 2001.
It
I feel like a
is, yeah,
teenager.
the vibe
That
for sure.
I don't know what the power that some of these movies have. I mean, I know that you're also very nostalgic, like I
Hmm.
am.
Hmm.
Sometimes I
Hmm.
watch a lot of these movies from specifically 2001
Yeah,
when I just want to tune out and just feel like a teenager
yeah,
for
totally.
for for 90 minutes,
Yeah, me
not think
too.
about
Absolutely.
responsibilities.
Any of these movies from like, I don't know, 98, 99 to like 2001, 2002, like that kind of period. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I'll just put it on just to have it in the background, even if I'm not paying attention too much,
Hmm.
because yeah, it does transport you back to that time period. And I think it's because we were kids too, so you know,
So yeah,
your problems are not as big. But yeah, it definitely makes me nostalgic for that time period too. Donnie Darko was another one that I think had a weird release schedule. I don't remember if it even ever had like a wide release.
it was limited in the fall of 2001. I remember because that,
Gotcha.
that was another one that did not make it to theaters back home, and I grew up so pissed off back home in Puerto Rico because a
Sure,
lot of
sure.
a lot of the indie movies that I wanted to watch, they did not open in theaters over there at all. So I always had to wait until they came out on VHS or DVD. But I was always that kid there on
Just
release
getting it in the
day.
video store. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both of these, Donnie Darko and this, didn't really come. Like most people didn't see them until 2002 because that was when they got wide
Hmm.
releases on video. Same with Happy Campers, which we also love. That was another movie that didn't really get that one didn't get a theater release at all. I don't think. I think it just kind of popped up in video stores in 2002.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one came out. I remember that one came out of nowhere, and I just discovered it at the video store
Hmm.
when it dropped, and I saw that cast. I was like, okay, I need it.
Yeah, yeah. Another one with Brad Renfro.
Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that movie up, and because I don't know many people that actually love it or are
Yeah,
fans of it.
it's weird because like again, Daniel Waters, who's like, you know, a big name, you know, Heather's in Batman Returns.
Hmm. It's been a while for me. I need to rewatch it because I know
It's
that's always my favorite.
yeah, for a superhero movie, it doesn't feel like a superhero movie, which is what I like about it. It just has this weird, twisted, dark fantasy, again, kind of Donnie Darko adjacent kind of vibe.
But what's my favorite movie based on a comic book? Ghost World.
Ghost World, yes, of course. Yeah, when people talk about like, yeah, wait, do you like comic book movies? I'm like, well, I like Ghost World. So that's and I think it did surprisingly. Critics really like this movie. Even Roger Ebert really loved it.
I was surprised when he was giving it a rave review. I
Yeah,
was like, oh wow, he did have a sense of humor.
yeah, I know, which came out every once in a while, I guess. He gave it like 4 out of 4 stars, and he said like I wanted to hug this movie. And they, I think if I remember right, Thora and Steve Buscemi both got Golden Globe nominations for their performances
Okay.
in this too. So yeah, it got some recognition at the time. I feel like it's still kind of an underground film though, to some degree. Like the people that like it, or at least a cult film, the people that like it a lot. But I think that people don't talk about it a lot, which is partly why I wanted to do it on this podcast, because I feel like it just needed to be talked about more.
There's just something timeless about this movie that I think personally that it's aging well.
I think so too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think again, the visual look of it, I think helps a lot because it's kind of a mix of different styles. Who was the person that did the cinematography? It was Afonso Beato, who did a lot of the like Pedro Almodovar movies, which I can see because a lot of those movies have kind of a distinct look to them too.
They do, and they're colorful.
Yeah, they're very colorful. Everything is very kind of monochromatic and bright, and everything in this movie is kind of slightly oversaturated, which gives it that cool look that, like you said, is kind of timeless. The dialogue feels, I think, kind of dated, like in the early 2000s, like kind of bitchy way. But I think the look of the movie, but that's also why I love it, because we don't get dialogue like that anymore,
I mean, some of the things that they say, it's some of the things that I also say with my best friends as well.
Right. Well, yeah, that's I think that's partly why I wanted you on in this episode, because like you're one of those people that like you say some of the things that like I'm thinking, but like I don't have like guts to say. Like I'll read some of your comments and I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that. I just like I don't have the guts to actually say.
I mean, I lost count of the amount of times that they use the R word in this movie as well.
Right.
Which
There's
nowadays
definitely some stuff.
Very problematic. Yeah.
Yes, there's definitely things that like you could not get by with saying today. But yeah,
I did like that part of when they were talking about the racism, and still to this date is it's relatable as well, and how a lot of things get like she said, whitewashed.
Yeah, they're talking about how the idea of nostalgia and like and she's like, are things better now? And he's like, well, I don't know if they're really better now. We're just better at hiding them now. Yeah. And I think he's kind of right in the movie that like, things aren't necessarily, they're better in some ways, but we've also just gotten better about like hiding a lot of the, really the racism and everything else.
Like, yeah, because I was thinking like you and I were very nostalgic for that period of time from the 1998 to 2001. But I also think sometimes like, were they actually better?
That's always the question. I think it was kind of a boring time, which I do miss that because I think there was just less like ridiculous shit going on in the world. But of course, like it was in many ways a worse time for people of color and gay people and women, but then now it's like things are going backwards in our society. So it's like I don't know. I think the movies are better. I don't.
Exactly. And there's just like you brought this up often. 1999 was just the best year for
it was so good.
Teenage movies in particular. I was just watching Drop Dead Gorgeous 2 days ago, and
so good.
That movie is just, it's always gonna be my favorite movie. It doesn't matter how many times I watch it throughout the year, I'm always laughing.
Yep, there it is right there. Yeah.
Is it actually like legit?
It's not. It's an Etsy created one, but it looks really good. It looks really like realistic, which I love.
Yeah. Oh, there's some. I recently, when I was visiting my friend in Florida, we went movie shopping to different Goodwills, and a lot of the DVDs that I got from, I could feel the case, and I knew they were Blockbuster. And when I would open them, I was like, yes, they had the Blockbuster.
Oh, that's funny.
I bought a bunch of shit. I left Florida with 40 movies.
Wow. Wow.
Some of them are very you core, like a freeway.
Ah, Freeway.
I think
Yes.
I don't know if it was you that recommended me at some point Rat Race.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I think Chris likes that one more than I do, but it's fun.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of crap that I just want to stay bedrot and watching, going through
Yes.
all these movies that I bought. I finally got Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh,
'Cause I
that one
never,
is fun.
I never got around to actually watch it past the one makeout scene.
Oh yeah, well that's the best part of the movie. But it's just a stupid, fun kind of stoner movie, which I do miss those kind of films too.
I got a lot of stuff from the early 2000s. I'm excited to
Nice. Nice.
watch at some point.
Yeah, it is super nostalgic just going back and I've been watching some of the ones that I missed. Like I watched Tomcats, which was not a great movie, but again, it just took me back to that era. Yeah, 2001, there was a lot of great these little studio comedies that we just don't get anymore. But yeah, I think like you said with the like all these coming of age movies and like teen movies in the late 90s, I think Ghost World is one of those, and it's also I think kind of commentary on those because again it's a coming of age movie, but it's also like kind of not like it's not the typical sort of 90s teen comedy where like the character goes through this big journey and I think learns like a ton of valuable life lessons. It's more just like this kind of disaffected, almost more early 90s vibe in the sense that like the early 90s media was very different from the late 90s. Like the early 90s stuff was very like grungy and like um
Hmm.
again disaffected and discontent and everything. And then well, I guess Daria would have been late 90s though still. So the stuff was still kicking, but yeah, it's definitely closer to that kind of vibe. And again, I think that's what threw me off a little bit the first time I watched it because I was like, "Oh, I just want to watch something like 10 Things I Hate About You or Can't Hardly Wait." And then I was like, "Well, this is not that. This is something completely different." And then but then later on I'm like, "Well, I was an idiot because it's a great movie."
I mean, the studio probably were trying to sell it that way too, because even even
Yeah.
the even the trailer that I saw you posting it, the way that they cut the trailer,
Yes.
it's just it feels like a different movie as well.
It does. It definitely plays up the kind of quirky comedy, which is in the movie, but there's definitely a lot of other things going on throughout too. And I think it's what I really like about this movie now is that it's not just one thing. It's a coming of age movie. It's also kind of a drama. It's a relationship drama and a friendship drama, and there's just like so much happening. I can't think of a lot of movies that really balance all those tones that well. Like American Beauty, maybe a little bit. Like there's a lot happening in that movie.
It
Yeah.
there's a point, I can't think exactly when, but maybe it's because Dora Burge is in it. But there's a point in
Yeah.
this movie that also made me. It reminds me always of American Beauty as well. It's towards the end as well,
Yeah.
because even this one, the ending is a little dark. It's also gives
Yeah.
you it leaves you with a little bit of hope.
It is. It's kind of ambiguous. Like you don't really know
Yes.
what's going to happen with this character in the end, and I find that kind of refreshing. You know, it's not just like this happy ending that like you don't
Hmm.
know what's going to happen with this character. I think that that's kind of nice in a movie because usually you get these very either really happy endings or sometimes depressing endings. But this is very
Hmm.
kind of ambiguous in the sense that yeah, she might go on and like have a great life, or she might just end up. I just picture her as a wanderer. I think she's going to jump from place to place like pretty much her whole life. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I know I kind of have that feeling as well with American Beauty as well, because even
Yeah.
if he died at the end, I always feel like the family is also free from all the drama that he brought into the family as
True.
well.
True. Yeah. Yeah. His whole midlife crisis is kind of the impetus for the movie. So that kind of like fucks up everything. I love that movie. It's so good. I don't care what anybody says. It's a great
Oh,
movie. So
I love it. I,
it's
I
so
won't
good.
talk any more about it because I hope you actually talk about it on the podcast,
That would be
preferably
fun.
with Chris. Invite Chris. I want to see you to discuss that movie.
It's one that would require a deep dive, and I'd have to really think about it, which I
Yeah,
don't know if I have the brain power for right now, but
I
someday
know.
maybe.
Yeah,
It's so
that's
good.
that's another one that I watch every year as well. I usually pull it out during November,
Hmm.
and I put
Yeah,
it
it's
on
it's
one
a
of the
great
Blu-rays.
Thanksgiving. I always watch it on Black Friday. It just gives me that vibe. I love it. But yeah, this was fun to revisit. I do like that character, the like you mentioned, the guy at the bus stop. I think his name is Norman. I think she kind of sees herself in him because he's kind of just sitting there the whole time, and then finally he gets to leave and do something else. And I think again he represents something else that's just always going to be there, like, which I think because she's going through this existential crisis, she's kind of clinging to things that are consistent, and like he is that consistent thing of like this person who he's just always going to be there. That's Norman. He's every day. And she mentioned that at the beginning of the movie, that kid from their class, that she's like, oh, it's kind of sad that we're not going to see this kid anymore, and
I know, yeah. And I think about I'm pretty sure I have that same thought in my
yeah,
prom where I was
yeah,
like, I'm never gonna see this person again. And sure, I've never seen them again.
yeah. It's, you don't really like miss things until like they're gone, and I think that that's kind of the feeling that she's having throughout the movie, even things that like weren't that important to her really in the big scheme of things, but it is, you become nostalgic for things once they're not there anymore.
She also has this weird relationship with her father. Like, even the
Yes,
communication.
yes.
At one point, he comes into her room to have a conversation with her, and he does mid sentence. He just walks out.
Oh yeah, I think it's implied that her mother like died or that walked out or something. I don't think they ever really say for sure,
They they don't. Yeah.
which I think is probably part of why, obviously a big part of why she is the way she is, like just kind of aloof and like, difficulty sort of connecting with people. And I like that the movie, like, I don't know, it doesn't judge her as a person per se. It kind of just lets her be. Like, she's a complex character, and the type of character that, she's not like a goody two shoes or anything like you would typically see for a protagonist. But I don't think the movie is judging her either. Like, it's not making her this sort of moral life story or something like, oh, don't be like this, or bad things will happen to you. It's just kind of like letting her exist, which this movie is very much like that. It's just like these characters just existing in this weird little quirky world, but it's not judging any of them or anything else, which I think is refreshing.
Yeah. I don't know. To this day, I still enjoy so much watching this movie, and
Yeah.
I always have a blast watch. I mean, from the moment it starts with that Indian music.
Yeah. Oh, it just sets the tone so well.
Uh-huh. I
I
wrote it
can't,
down. Yam Pin Shan Ho.
right. And it's from some 60s Bollywood movie. And
Yeah.
it totally sets the tone. And I like when it's the type of music, the type of offbeat music that she really likes. So when she first meets Seymour, she's like, "Do you have any music like this?" And he's like, "Well, I don't really collect international." And then it like she totally shifts her like music tastes like for meeting him. Yeah, it
I do
does.
love how that relationship does open the doors to her for he gets her into this weird depressing type of music
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that is only available on vinyl.
Right. Which is, yeah, relatable. I think especially when you're a teenager, it's, I don't know about you, but I definitely went through phases where I was like, oh, I really like this really kind of underground weird band. You probably never heard of them, but they're really cool.
I mean, I still do when a friend of mine asks me, "Who are you seeing in concert?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"You don't know them."
You don't know them. She only plays in Europe. Yeah.
It's Michelle Branch.
Yeah. Michelle Branch.
There's no other film like this either.
No, it's so distinct in that regard. That's why I was trying to think of like anything that's kind of similar to this. The only thing I can think of again is like kind of young adult, kind of American Beauty a little bit, but yeah, just this very deadpan. I think Daria really is like the closest thing,
Hmm.
to this. And it does capture that feeling again of being a teenager and not really thinking about your actions or your, what's going to happen if you do this thing that's going to like ruin this guy's life.
That I just thought about it. It does remind me a little bit of the tone of I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, Todd Solone's,
Yes,
the
yes, the
director of
yeah, totally.
Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yes,
That
Welcome to Dollhouse.
I always think about Welcome to the Dollhouse whenever I watch Ghost World as well.
Yeah, I could see that too. They're both
But
kind of,
those movies are get dark, and
they do. They do.
they're mean spirited. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. And I do like that this one doesn't get like, it has some dark moments, but again, I think it kind of balances that pretty well. And by the end of it, it
Hmm.
does, again, it gives them kind of some resolution and stuff, even though it is
It
kind of an
does.
ambiguous ending, like at least the relationship she has. And I like that, like he ends up going to therapy and his therapist is like, even she is like, oh my God, this guy again. Like the look that she gives when he leaves with his mom is so funny.
Yeah, that scene makes me laugh because I'm thinking, okay, then why are you extending this relationship with her because
Yes.
even himself he asked her if if they're done after this one meeting, and she's like, no,
Mhm.
you I'll have to meet up
Yeah.
next week.
Hmm. I'm sure it's just for the money, basically, because she
Oh,
needs
oh
it.
yes.
Yeah. I like that, like, even though Enid does all this crappy things to him to some degree, like, she pretends to be this other woman initially, and then she posts that picture in the art gallery, which gets him fired because the boss notices it. But I think that it also kind of spurs him to be a better person. Like, it kind of gets him out of his shell too by the end of the movie, like, which causes him to go to therapy and like I think try to move on with his life in a way, because I think he was in a rut just like she was to some degree, and I think that's why they
I
were kind
didn't
of connected.
I didn't think about that. Like, yeah, he did get fired, and he probably had to move in with his mom.
Probably, yeah, that's probably what's going on at the end. Yeah, so that's funny
uh,
because yeah, they say he'd
poor,
been with that company for like 20 years or something, some ridiculous number of, yeah.
poor
But
Seymour.
that's poor guy. But again, I think it like at least spurred him to like try some self-improvement stuff and like move on with his life. And because I think he realized that, like, oh, like I've kind of hit rock bottom, like, I can't go any lower in this, so I need to like do something different with my life. Yeah, it was fun to revisit this. Thanks for coming on
Yeah.
and talking about it.
Oh no, no, thank you for having me. This is just a movie that I'm constantly rewatching every year. So
Perfect. So it worked out well. Where can people find you on social media, Carlos?
oh, on Instagram slasher underscore junkie, I think it is.
Right. Yeah.
Like
You
where
don't want
I'll post a review here and there, thirst
to,
trap,
a little
or
thirst trap picture here and there. Yeah. You gotta keep
mi-
the followers happy.
music video stuff. Oh no,
Yes. Yes.
I think it's funny when people come into my profile for the thirst traps, and then they just see a bunch of horror stuff, and then I can see that number going down again
Oh yeah.
of the
Well,
followers.
I love your weekly music videos too. They're always really nostalgic. They're always from like usually from the 90s or 2000s. So that takes me back too. It's
I
great.
kind of do that just for fun. There's a
Yeah.
friend of mine that he's always like, if you don't post that, I know there's something going on with you. You're busy. But I'm excited, and I'm excited now for this new podcast journey for you, because I know you and I have a lot of the same taste when it comes to nostalgic movies from this
Yeah.
era. So I'm
I think
excited for everything that you have announced so far.
it's gonna be really interesting. Like, when I pick these movies, specific people always come to my mind. Like when I picked Ghost World, I was like, well, who do I know that really loves Ghost World? I'm like, well, I know Carlos like
Mhm.
really loves Ghost
Yeah,
World. And it's like that with some of these other movies I picked up too. Like we're gonna talk about Get Over It, which is that
I, I'm
2001
ex-
movie
I'm
that
so
like
excited.
nobody ever talks about that movie, and I think it's so fun and campy and silly. And one of my friends is obsessed with that movie, and I'm like, man, again, this is perfect because I want to talk about this movie, and you're someone that I know who loves this movie. So I think it's going to be what's fun about this podcast, because I've never done a podcast like this where it's like different guests every episode. So
Hmm.
that's going to be interesting.
And I'm
Yeah.
enjoying so far what you're doing. And
Thanks.
you have
Thanks.
there's so many movies for you to cover for 2001.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's good.
That's the thing, because I'm trying to cover mostly like movies that are turning 30 and 25 this year, and there's so many
Mhm.
good ones from like 1996 and 2001. But yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to revisit these movies as the episodes go along. Because right
Oh,
now I
great.
need to watch.
Great.
I need to rewatch. I need to rewatch Get Over It because it's been a while.
Yeah, that's kind of always the fun thing about doing these podcasts too. And when Chris and I were doing the podcast, it was like getting people to like revisit these movies again. Either they haven't seen them at all, or it's been a long time. And we'll definitely have you back on here, Carlos. There's a couple other movies that I was like, even Donnie Darko. I think you would be fun to talk about with that. That's kind of a deep dive movie that I don't even know how to like talk about. There's so much happening in it,
Oh, I mean,
but
still to this day, I don't think I understand that movie.
I don't think anybody understands that movie, and anyone who says they do is just like talking out of their ass. Maybe eventually we'll get to your American Psycho 2, your favorite.
Did you not cover that with Chris?
I don't think we ever did. I don't think we ever did.
Oh my God! Well,
A
I
classic.
mean
A
that movie.
classic.
Well, next year if I'm still around, that will be the 25th anniversary. You can
Oh
have
yeah, yeah.
book me. The 25th anniversary is gonna be in June next.
Okay, I love that you know that the exact date when this movie. Well,
Right now I'm watching Popular season 2.
I have been wanting to rewatch that too. That's one that I haven't seen in forever. I'm just finishing up a Daria rewatch, so I might have to go and start popular again too, because that was a fun.
Daria, it's always on rotation, so I can't ever say, "Oh, I'm done with Daria." No, because as soon as it's over, I continue it
Yeah.
again.
It's one of those shows that like you can jump into really easily because there aren't a lot of like overarching long storylines. Like toward the end of the show when she's dating Tom, which I never really liked Tom that much. I don't what do you think
Neither.
about Tom now? I think he was always kind of
No,
a know-it-all and just
yeah, no, he was not my favorite character, and I feel like that's when the show, I was not mad that it ended.
yeah, that was probably about the right time.
Yeah, even for a
That
cartoon, I don't know. It's just I always envisioned Daria as a real person for some reason. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
It's not like I'm watching South Park or Bob's Burger, which are the other
Exactly.
shows that I watch.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, again, thanks for coming on, Carlos, and again,
Of
we'll have you
course.
back on soon. And everybody, you can follow this podcast if you want. And it's just an Instagram right now, and that is the Y2Gay, just Y2Gay Movie Pod on Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel. You can watch these videos if you want. I think we have video on, I don't know why I keep saying we, it's just me. Me and you, yeah, obviously for this episode, but different people for every episode. But you can watch these videos on YouTube or on Spotify now because they now have video podcasts podcasts on there. And I'll be back next week with Matilda, with my friend Travis, for the 30th anniversary of that. So it'll be fun.
30 years already. Wow.
I know. These movies, it's insane. Okay, well, bye, everybody.